Peace world, welcome to our first installment of Tap Facts with Nico Taps. Our first subject will be legendary Chicago native tap dancer Dr. Jeni Legon. In 1935, Legon was featured as herself in the film Hooray for Love, being the first and only black woman to appear next to Bill Robinson on the silver screen. After this appearance, she was dubbed the Chocolate Princess by the press. MGM Studios was so impressed with her appearance that they offered her a groundbreaking contract at the time, making $1,250 a week, which has the buying power of almost $29K today in 2026. Her first film on contract with MGM was Broadway Melody of 1936, which was to star Eleanor Powell. At a cast dinner party to promote the film, she performed before Powell and stopped the show, clearly the more talented of the two. However, the next day, she was informed by her agent, Earl Dancer, that since Powell was already cast as the star, they did not need two female tap dancers. They swiftly took her out of the film and sent her to London, reassigning her to appear in London's stage production of At Home Abroad. It seemed clear that MGM did not want Legon to upstage their white star, Eleanor Powell, which is the real reason why they took her out of the film and sent her out of the country. Once back in the US and Hollywood, Legon faced the cruelest indignity of being cast to play every kind of servant imaginable, like having to play the role of Ann Miller's maid Effie in Easter Parade, which starred Miller and Fred Astaire, who never spoke to her on set. Quote, "The stars did not socialize. There was complete separation. That's just the way you live," Legon said. Though she was the first African-American woman to sign with MGM, she couldn't escape the very prevalent racial discrimination in Hollywood at the time, and wasn't even invited to eat in their dining hall with the other talent in her time there. MGM was just clearly avoiding having to represent a multi-talented black female soloist, afraid of the financial losses and press backlash that they possibly could have faced by pairing her with a white leading male. Instead, they kept her behind the scenes as a consultant and dance director. The best example of this was after she married composer Phil Moore in 1943. They co-wrote a piece called The Sping together for the film Panama Hattie, a mix of Spanish and swing. The Sping was sung and performed by Lena Horne and featured legendary tap trio, the Berry Brothers. Legon went on to appear in many films throughout her career, but was only really able to shine in all-black films like Heidi Ho, where she co-starred with Cab Calloway. She eventually left Hollywood and spent her final years in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Though she did have an appearance later in life in the hood classic Bones in 2001 next to Snoop Dogg. Our last fact was that in 2002, she was one of 9 legendary tap dancers to be presented with an honorary Doctor of Performing Arts in American Dance degree from Oklahoma City University. And that is why we refer to her as Dr. Jeni Legon.